Welcome to the Do Good X podcast, a sanctuary from the entrepreneurial grind. Hosts Kimberly Danielle and Stephen Lewis, advocates for impactful entrepreneurship, guide you on the path where purpose meets business. Join us to slow down, reconnect, and explore the challenges of under-resourced entrepreneurs, uncovering the unique journey of building businesses that make a difference. Now, your hosts.
Welcome back to the Do Good X podcast. My name is Kimberly Danielle, and I am a community builder, a coach, and a communication strategist. And I have the gift of being your host for the day. Thank you for being here. I am excited about this episode today because it is focused on a topic that is relevant, that is needed, and I consistently hear and am a part of conversations about this when I am around entrepreneurs. And that is, how do we best manage the demands of business, family, and self-care? Now, either you or somebody you know, they fall into this bucket of struggling with that or they're challenged with that in this season. I know I have been challenged before, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs who are challenged with this. So today I kind of want to just take what Stephen and I say as a moment to slow down and to invite you to really reflect on where things are at for you with managing your business, your family, and your self-care, your own well-being, and really to think about how you want to move forward. It's important to do this because it's so easy to get caught up in the entrepreneurial grind and to be in the mode of doing versus being in the mode of being. So let's be together for this episode. I remember years ago in one of our earlier accelerator programs, Do Get X offers a startup accelerator program for early stage social entrepreneurs. And at the end of the 10-week program, I had some calls with our fellows. And one call I had was with a fellow in the evening after the day had been done. And this is someone who had a full-time job during the day and at night was working so diligently on her business. That's in addition to all of the other demands and roles in her life of being a partner and a wife, being a mother, and all the other roles that exist for her. And as I was asking her about the development of her MVP or her minimum viable product, I noticed how fatigued she seemed to be. And we all know when somebody is just downright exhausted from how they are showing up in their energy. And so I asked her, how are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? And she didn't have an answer. She paused, and then eventually the answer was no. Now, this is not an isolated situation. Again, you may very well be in that same space right now or know somebody else who is. There's this story, and there are statistics that are shown in various studies. Around 60 to 65% of entrepreneurs have dealt with or are currently dealing with burnout. And much of that is attributed to financial concerns, but also what we call work-life balance. Now, pair that with another study saying that 75% of entrepreneurs are concerned about their mental health. We need to be taking better care of ourselves. So I know that, there are buzzwords around work-life balance and well-being, and it's a more popular conversation now. And it needs to stay that way because these data points show that this conversation still needs to exist. So I just want to provide 4 tips to more effectively manage the demands of our business, our family, and self-care. Now, this is just based on my own experience or based on the experience of entrepreneurs in our community. And I hope that you might be able to use something that I provide here today. So the first is See that everything works in harmony versus balance. I remember talking with one of my friends a few years ago who is an entrepreneur in the wellness space, and we both share the same sentiment. We meaning society, or in the United States at least, use this term around balance and work life balance. But that just doesn't exist when we define that as the even distribution of the different aspects of our life. There is no way that I can evenly distribute my energy toward the different aspects of my life. If you're a visual person, you can think about a pie chart. Can you give 25% of your time just to your family, 25% of your time to your business, 25% of your time to yourself, and 25% of your time to your friends? I don't know. I mean, if you can, please do, email me. I want to hear from you. But what we talked about and what I like to think about is more so a sense of harmony, everything working in an arrangement that brings peace. So this might mean that you need to show up more with your family, and you need to talk to your team members about that and how you will shift the flow of your life to accommodate that. Or maybe you need to give more time to your business in a particular season. And that doesn't mean that you don't show up with your family, but it may mean that you're not having as frequent outings with your family or with your friends for a period of time. And you have that conversation and it's understood. Whatever it is for you to best design your life to work in harmony together, consider that. The second thing is set aside time on your calendar for family, friends, your business, and your attention to yourself. I live by my calendar. You will see blocks of time for meditation. You'll see blocks of time for working out, for business, for my family, all of that. I remember 2 separate conversations that happened. We had a founder, Jasmine Crow of Gooder, speak to our cohort, in addition to Catherine Finney, who is an entrepreneur, investor, and author. And she spoke to them at a separate time. And they both said that they block time to simply have lunch. They block it on their calendar every single day because they pull up their calendars every single day and they have that before them and they see that reminder to have lunch, because it's so easy to get in the doing and forget to take care of ourselves and nourish our bodies. So put things on your calendar. It is a reminder of your priorities, and it is a reminder of where you need to show up, how you need to show up. It's something simple, but it can be so effective and so powerful. I know another entrepreneur who every year blocks time on his birthday to go on a trip by himself, to attend to his inner self, to reflect and to reset, to be a better entrepreneur and to be a better human moving forward. His family understands this. His business understands that. So again, setting aside time for the things that matter and putting that on your calendar. The third piece is have clear boundaries. Know when to say yes and know when to say no. Not every opportunity is the right one. I know people who have turned down investors because it wasn't even aligned with their values, or it would have implications for their business and the time that they would have to more dedicate to it. And they just didn't have it at the time. And it just wasn't the best alignment. Don't overextend yourself when it just doesn't work or when it's not a priority in your life. And that's not just about your business. That's about family. That's about friends, because that does exist there too. So know when to say no and know when to say yes to you, because you're the best person. Nobody's going to do this for you. Nobody's going to come to save you but you. So set yourself up well and have some clear boundaries. I would also say, as it relates to boundaries, know when to shut down and shut off. That's something that I have been very mindful of And some folks even put, again, going back to blocking off time, put that, hey, my phone is going to go on do not disturb at this time because I need to be present with my kids or present with myself. That in and of itself is also a clear boundary. So just keep that in mind. Last, have a reset plan and support in place when there's no harmony. Look, life is going to happen. Challenge happens, chaos happens, situations come up, and we have no idea they're coming, and it just throws everything out of whack. It happens, and it's going to happen at some point in life. But the important thing is to have a reset plan to get you back on track and to recenter yourself. I recently spoke to one of our alums who said that she was going to take a purposeful pause. So maybe this is an opportunity to set a plan to have a purposeful pause when these things come up. Maybe it's an opportunity to lean into your community of support, and you know who those people are. You know where those spaces are that you can lean into. Maybe it's an opportunity for you to reflect on what's working and what's not working and to develop a new plan of action moving forward. Whatever it is, have that in mind, because it's better to know before challenge erupts. Because when it erupts, you'll have a clear sense of, I know what I need to do now to help me gain clarity, to help me recenter, to help me move forward. So again, four tips. See that everything works in harmony versus balance. Set aside time on your calendar for your family, your friends, your self-care or well-being, and your business. Third, have clear boundaries. Know when to say yes and know when to say no. And lastly, have a reset plan and support in place when there is no harmony. I invite you to think about one thing right now that you can commit to better manage these different areas of your life. Your family, your friends can also be considered family, your well-being, your self-care, and your business. Just one thing that you can commit to. For me, I want to have clear work boundaries during my time with my daughter and my family. This is something that I have been working on this year, but sometimes it's just so tempting. Let me check that email. Oh, there's this text. I really need to respond to it. But I want to have more clear boundaries there so I can be fully present with her. And then the time that I have blocked for my business or for other things, I can be fully present there. So that's what I'm going to do. The question is, what are you going to do? I hope that you have found something here to help you better manage your time and the demands of your business, your family, and your well-being. And I appreciate you tuning in and listening. I hope you join us next time in our next episode. And until then, be well and do good.
Thank you for listening to the Do Good X podcast. To continue the conversation or access our resources, visit www.dogoodx.org. Join us again for conversations that will nourish your soul, ignite your dreams, and empower you to build an impactful business, one intentional step at a time. Until then, keep striving, thriving, and doing good.